Well, now, this is what I want you to do for the first 100 days of the year 2024. This is exactly the thing that will transform and change your life as far as the finance is concerned. And by the way, have you ever heard of politicians selling an idea of, hey, guess what, for the first 100 days, this is what I'm going to do, guys, this is what I promise, and all those kind of things. Have you ever heard of them? You know why? Because 100 days is one of the most important things that people have never known. Why? Because with 100 days, this is what happens. With 100 days, there is actually and 91 days inside that. Okay, and guess what happens? They usually say within a 91 days you build yourself a what? You build yourself a character. All right, once you be able to build yourself a character, therefore getting yourself out of it is usually one of the hardest thing. And with reference to 100 days that I'm going to share with you today is as far as the finance is concerned. This is what I want you to do for the next 100 days, or for the first 100 days of the year 2024. This is what I want you to do. Understand your numbers. How much do you earn per month, per day, per week, or whichever the time that you get paid? Stick to that budget that you want, gonna do something about it. For example, I know we are the starting of the year, you have many resolutions, and on this channel I'll talk about finance. And one of the resolutions that you have is about you're giving yourself a certain challenge. Let's say you're challenged to save 60K, 100K, 200, 2 million, whatever the amount of money that you're looking forward into saving or investing. Or maybe your target is not even about saving. Your target is about investing or starting something. Make sure that each and every day, that's the point number one, the first one. Each and every day, make sure that you do something that is contributing towards you achieving that what you say that you're gonna do. So each day, you do what? You meditate on the target. You meditate on the target. What does it mean? You make sure that at least you ask yourself, okay, fine, since the morning until now, what exactly have I done that is contributing towards the end goal that I'm aiming towards getting at the end of the year? Well, I'm aiming towards getting this amount of money in terms of the investment, or I'm aiming towards getting this amount of money towards, all those kind of things. So make sure that at least you do something that is explaining to you about you achieving that dream. Okay, now the point number two obviously is to get, or the discipline of saving your money is for the discipline of understanding, hey, 1, 2, 3, as far as your money is concerned, how much is your expenses, how much is your income, so that at least you can find the difference between the two. Number three, I want you to learn to say no. Learn to say no. What does it mean? Have you ever been in a situation whereby you find most of the people usually misuse their funds because they are being asked by their family members, their friends, and all those kind of things about the support, about all those kind of things? They're even pulling to contributions that they think that they never even planned about, and then at the end of the day they complain about them not having the money, or maybe I'm unable to save, or maybe they think I'm earning way less or something of sort. Make sure that at least you learn to say no. For example, if you learn to say no, for example, for something that, hey, somebody's selling an idea to you in terms of the investments. But if you do your research, you realize this is not really a thing that I can be able to invest on. And maybe you're wondering on what you can be able to do not to get yourself into it. Just say no. Yeah, you'll think that you will hurt people. Most of the people will think that you're arrogant, but the point is you're putting your message across out there, and you will be respected based on exactly that. So learn to say no. All right. So now let's go to the next one. The next one is that start small. Start small. Okay? Start small. When I say start small in this regard, I'm referring to do not despise that small amount of money that you can be able to invest. For example, you can even pick as low as 100 Kenyan shillings. You be dedicating that amount of money continuously in a certain period of time, so that at least you can be able to cumulatively, by the time you're clocking the end of this year, you'll be able to be having a certain amount of money that can facilitate you in terms of either starting a business if you're not a fan of investments, or maybe be solely creating what we call the passive income that is earning you an extra income as you progress to the next level. So the point is this: just start small. Do not complicate the issue. And this is what I want you to do. When you're starting to save, you may feel like a whole burden of, maybe your aim is to get a certain amount of money by the end of the year, but you feel as if you're not moving in any way. So for the first 100 days, basically that's like 3 months. This is what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, compare what you are saving vis-a-vis what you are saving back there in the last year, that is 2023. You ask yourself, okay, fine, now this is the new month that I've saved. For example, this is the month of January. Okay, now this is month of January. You ask yourself, okay, fine, it's one of the toughest months that people say, hey, people are from the the parties and what have you, people are paying school fees and all those kind of things, but how much did you manage to actually salvage and save for yourself. Okay. Number two, or the next option, you ask yourself, okay, fine. If I compare the last month, that is the December, or the first month of last year, which was January, how much did I manage? What are some of the characters do I usually do in January that actually get myself into the problems? For example, there are some people in January usually get themselves into borrowing, and they are borrowing to fund their consumables. Others get themselves into what we call the salary advance. Sometimes they come to a point whereby you even understand them, because they are so much having what we call the cash crunch, to a point whereby they cannot even turn the wheel of life. When I say the wheel of life, I mean like the sustainables, thing that actually buys you the basic needs, the food, the shirt, and the clothing. So the point is, it's always good to make sure that at least you understand your numbers very well. So the point is, understand that starting small does not mean anything harm to your life. And of course, ask yourself each and every month after saving, you ask yourself, compare with the previous one. For example, let's say your whole target is to save like 100,000. For example, you're having a challenge of the said amount. Now you ask yourself, okay, fine. If I save this an X amount of money in this period of time, how much will I accumulate? How much will I manage to go ahead and be able to get at the end of the year? Then vis-a-vis, you ask yourself, okay, what are some of the areas that I can be able to shake them off so that I can be able to achieve that ultimate goal that I'm looking forward at the end of the year? So if you start asking yourself those questions, you'll be able to do something great. Now, the other thing that you're supposed to do, account yourself, is to account yourself, okay? If you account yourself in simple terms, I simply mean, hey, be responsible of your life. You ask yourself, okay, fine, where did my money go? And this is the worst thing that you can ever do with your money, is taking a pen and paper and trying to find out where your money went. You're trying to, scrutinize yourself and ask yourself, hey, I had like 30,000 like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Where is my money going? So what you're doing is to play what we call the catch-up game with money. Money is always ahead of you. What you're trying to catch up with it. So all the time is good to make sure that you have the plan way before the money shows up to your place. So account to yourself, be accountable. And when you account to yourself is when you actually sort of self-discipline yourself. You ask yourself, okay, fine, I am Joseph, I am this amount of money. What am I doing with my money? What have I done with my money so far? What am I doing right now? What am I aiming into getting? Fine, I have been employed for the last 20 years, 20, 30, 6, 1 month or something of so. Then what have I done? Or if not, then what am I looking forward into doing? What are some of the characters or the action that I'm supposed to shake them off so that at least I may be able to achieve that dream? So when you start asking yourself all those questions around, then you start to become what we call the self-accounting. And if you do that continuously for the next 3 months, guess what? You'll develop what we call the character, and that character will be able to facilitate you taking yourself to point whereby investing would be a complicated process, and that's how you grow yourself in terms of the financial freedom. All right, so let's get to the next one. The next one is all about what we call the self-reflection. Okay, the self-reflection is actually self-reflection. This is actually telling yourself the truth. It's like basically, in other words, saying, hey, have realistic goals. It's good to self-reflect yourself, okay? And once you realize that some of the characters that you've been holding on to that is actually delimiting you or limiting you from the point of achieving your goals, then you're supposed to shake them off. Now, self-reflection is asking yourself like, okay, fine, I love partying, okay? How much money do I dedicate towards partying? Okay, fine, I love traveling, I love road trips, I love all those kind of things. By the way, my money usually misused by me doing shopping. My money is being misused by me helping our family members excessively, or what we call the excessive kind. Now you ask yourself, okay, fine, what are some of the things that I can be able to do so that at least I can be able to cut all those things, if not eradicate them? All right, because hey, guess what? There is a very delicate balance that exists between the social life and the finance life. Okay, so it is good to make sure that at least you have to do something that actually is beneficial to yourself and your life. All right, and as well, also be able to create what we call this good social life with the people out there. So if you can be able to come up with that delicate balance, that actually working balance between those two aspects, that's what we call the most important thing as far as the development is concerned. So have what we call the self-reflection, so that at least you tell yourself the truth. Do not hide anything from yourself. That is how you grow yourself and progress to the next level. All right, so the things that I'm sharing here with you is the thing that I want you to do for the next 100 days. And guess what? Don't be like a politician who promises heaven on earth within the 100 days and they do nothing about themselves. Remember one thing, this is a self-accountability, this is a self-development, this is a self-action that you're taking so that at least you grow and develop yourself. So it is good to be keen cautious and also be truth to yourself. You'd rather lie to anyone who is out there, of which I do not recommend, rather than lying to yourself. If you lie to yourself, that is actually one of the genesis of failures that you can be able to have. And this is the magic that I want to tell you as far as the 100 days is concerned. Most of the people, by the way, they say statistically over 75% of people immediately after writing their resolutions as far as the new year is concerned, by the time we clock the third month, over 75% of people, they have actually sort of put aside all the dreams, put aside all the resolutions. Others have given up, others have thrown up the towel and all those kind of things. So if you can manage to bypass the third month, that is the 100th day, sticking to your character, sticking to that what you said you're gonna work for, I am telling you without a blink of an eye that you'll be able to achieve that dream, that challenge, that target that you're aiming as far as that year is concerned. But if you cannot manage to bypass these 100 days, then rest assured you might be doing this thing continuously each and every year without yourself getting a substantive result. And guess what? A time will come when you throw up the towel and say, hey, guess what? It's not even important to write the resolution. It's not even important to do that. It's not even important to do the other, because you've actually thrown up the towel out there. And that is the most worst thing that you can ever do out there as far as the finance is concerned. All right. So let me just recap exactly what I've just said on this video. Number one, self-reflect yourself, understand yourself. What are the limits that are limiting you from, or what are the things or the sort of character that are limiting you from achieving your full goal? Number two, make sure that you count yourself. Make sure that you account yourself. Okay. Number three, make sure that you start small and do not despise any humble beginning as far as the money accumulation is concerned. That is exactly what you're supposed to do. Number two, learn to say no. All right. When you learn to say no, is because it will help you to actually monitor your finances. And when I say learn to say no, I mean with reference to the finances. And if you know something's gonna say yes and gonna limit you from, gonna detach you from your time, then be able to say no. The first one I talked about, each and every day, ask yourself, hey, what did I do exactly today that is working towards me achieving that dream that I said, that challenge, that target that I said I want to achieve it at the end of the month, or rather at the end of the year. So if you kind of do all those kind of things, will help you do your things. Guys, make sure that if you'd like to have a conversation with me, my number is always on the description of this specific video. You can pick it up and you can give me a call, or you can text me, or you can shoot me an email. My email is actually out there for the purposes of the financial advisory, or the things that I can be able to share with you that I've seen and I've gone through that can be of help to you. All right, don't forget to pick that number for just a cup of coffee's price. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.